So the next speaker is Joe Kenner, who leads the Greyston Social Entrepreneur Enterprise, which has piloted a practice that abolishes discrimination in the hiring process. Because the way that they do it is they just let people in. No CVs, no background checks. You just show up for a job and you start to work. It's an amazing practice and everybody's asking, how can that work? Well, Joe will tell us. The good thing is he's working on scaling this together with large companies such as IKEA and Body Shop to thousands of their open positions all around the world. Joe, over to you.
Thank you so much. So what I wanted to do is really explain to you the why for Greyston's open hiring model, how it actually works, and also to show you and contextualize it for you. Who are the people that you're hiring? What is their status when they come through those doors? And then the key piece of this is, what does this actually mean for businesses? What does this actually mean for the organization and also for the people that work for you? So Greyston was actually started 40 years ago. And it was started by a man named Bernie Glassman. And his whole idea was to figure out how can we give people hope. And I could give you any poverty stat, any employment stat, and you will see that the marginalized, whether it's people of color, they don't fare too well in those status, whether it's poverty or employment. You look at these rates here, sadly, no matter what year I use, the story is still the same. And Bernie's idea was, how can I give people hope through employment? But more importantly, how can we show that business can be a force for good? So for those of you who don't know Greyston, you may not know the name, but you know our product. And that product is those delicious chocolate fudge brownie pieces that go into the Ben & Jerry's Unilever ice cream. You might see them for the US folks in Whole Foods packaged goods stores. The whole idea is really, you put your name on a list. When the next job is available, when you get the call, you got the job. No background checks, no resumes. When you report for orientation, that's actually your first day on the job. We believe that we should invest in bringing people in and keeping them in as opposed to spending that money and keeping people out. So just to give you a sense of who the folks are that come through the doors and what we've been doing, we've been working with over 30 partners, Body Shop being our largest replicator of open hiring, about 3,000 opportunities internationally. And what we see across the board with all of our partners, 60% of the hires face at least one barrier to employment. So think lack of experience, think formerly incarcerated. Almost half of them feel like they have no hope in terms of getting a job in the next year. And 55% of our employees were unemployed or looking for work when they put their name on that list. And again, you look at some of these folks, almost a quarter of them were out of work for almost a year. So think of that status as they're coming through the door. Here's the win-win for businesses. When you hire these folks and you bring them in at the entry level, you are now creating a pipeline. But here's the important thing about the pipeline, and I always say this is diversity, equity, inclusion with substance. 60% of the folks that are coming through the doors of our replicators, they're women, they're people of color, and even the age is actually it's pretty even in terms of the ages of the folks that come through the door. These are your future managers, these are your future coordinators, these are your future supervisors. So when you think about bringing in the marginalized and you're giving them hope, but you're also giving them a pathway to employment. But also, when you think about the environment that you're creating for the people that already work in your organizations, it's building trust. And you know why? Because by you trusting them, they're now trusting you, and the folks that are in the organization, they're proud to work for a company that is actually providing a service like this. And it's a business strategy, not something that's touchy-feely. This is not some CSR initiative. It's a business strategy. It's a hiring strategy. It's a hiring model. And what we want to do is, with these results of impact, share this with all other companies. You can do it at any size. We have many employers that are small. One guy has 10 employees to the Body Shop that literally has tens of thousands of employees. Find a way in that entry-level position to give the job, an open hiring job to someone, and just let it grow. Start small and let it grow. The Body Shop started with 300 people in one location and distribution center. Now they're in US, UK, Canada, Australia, 3,000 positions in distribution and retail. So this is an open hiring model that works. And we want to make sure that we share this idea with as many businesses as possible so that we can get more folks off the sidelines and into employment. Thank you so much.